It was another absolutely insane week in the world of AI. It's so hard to keep up with it all. Don't worry, we've got you. Here are the top 10 stories in AI this week. OpenAI have added a hatch command to Codex that hatches a virtual creature you keep around as you work. OpenAI's developer account played along, replying to one fan's "What's the Goblin called?" with a coy "We've heard it's Glim." It's a deliberate bit of personality in a category that increasingly competes on feel as much as capability. Claude Code, Cursor, and Codex are now indistinguishable on the basics, so the differences are starting to come down to the vibes. Coding agents are quietly turning into characters. Your terminal used to be a place for status text and exit codes. Now it has a pet that needs hatching. Japan Airlines and GMO AI and Robotics will deploy Unitree humanoid robots at Haneda Airport to handle baggage, load cargo, and assist with aircraft towing. The machines run for 2 to 3 hours at a stretch, and the program runs as a trial until 2028. The driver here might be more demographic than technological. Japan's working-age population is shrinking while tourism keeps climbing, and this is exactly the kind of physically punishing, safety-critical work that robots could be perfect for. Though the airline says robots will support staff rather than replace them. Future phases include cabin cleaning, and if the trial works, expect every major Asian carrier to follow. The labour maths only goes one way. OpenAI's new open-sourced tool Symphony watches a linear project board, spawns a Codex agent for each task, and delivers verified pull requests with CI status, code reviews, and walkthrough videos attached, so humans stop supervising agents and start reviewing finished work. OpenAI says some internal teams saw a 500% jump in landed PRs in the first 3 weeks of using it. That's a pretty crazy productivity claim. Whether it survives outside OpenAI in the real world and with messier codebases is another question. For now, Symphony only talks to linear and only drives Codex, but the spec is open. Expect Jira and Claude code adapters within weeks. Not for the first time, ChatGPT 5.4 Pro has solved a 60-year-old mathematics problem, but the real story is how this came about. 23-year-old Liam Price published the proof last week. The problem comes from the late Paul Erdos, the famous mathematician, and concerns primitive sets of whole numbers where no member divides another. GPT 5.4 Pro cracked the problem in 80 minutes by combining techniques that have existed for 90 years but had never been pointed at this problem. So a single amateur working with a chatbot reached a result that experts could not, and the model didn't invent new mathematics, it noticed an existing tool that nobody else had thought to apply. The mention of Goblins in ChatGPT has been a hot and controversial topic on X this week. Sam Altman and OpenAI are fully embracing it. They traced the Goblins back to one specific reward signal. The nerdy personality, designed to be playful, was unintentionally scoring creature metaphors higher than plain answers, and the model learned to favour goblins, gremlins, raccoons, trolls, even pigeons. Nerdy responses were only 2.5% of ChatGPT traffic, but they accounted for 2/3 of all goblin mentions. Worse, the behaviour transferred. Once those outputs got reused in fine-tuning data, the model produced creatures even without the nerdy prompt. OpenAI retired the nerdy personality in March, filtered the training data, and added a goblin-suppressing line into Codex. They even published the command to switch it off if you would rather let the creatures run free. So now you know what all the goblin fuss is about. Google DeepMind's new AI Co-CLINICIAN system uses live video and audio to process physical symptoms in real time, watching how a patient walks, listening to their breathing, or examining a rash. In safety testing, it made 0 critical errors across 97 of 98 primary care queries. In a 140-area simulation study with Harvard Medical School and Stanford Medicine, the system matched or beat physicians in 68 areas, including triage. Humans still won decisively on red flags and physical exams, which is kind of the point. AI as a second pair of eyes in the room, not the only ones. Anthropic launched 9 creative connectors today, and the two doing the heavy lifting are Adobe and Blender. The Adobe connector opens up more than 50 pro-grade tools across the Creative Cloud suite from inside Claude. The Blender connector wraps a natural language interface around Blender's Python API, so users can drive complex 3D setups by describing what they want. Anthropic has joined the Blender Development Fund as a corporate patron, paying to keep the open-source 3D suite healthy. Ableton, Splice, Affinity, SketchUp, and Resolume round out the launch, covering music production, design, and live visuals. Google Quantum AI has shared an amazing result. Their Willow chip completed a physics simulation 13,000 times faster than the world's best supercomputers. The algorithm is an out-of-time order correlator used to probe how information spreads through a quantum system. It runs on the 105-qubit Willow processor, and the team says it can be reproduced on any quantum computer of the same caliber, which is what makes it verifiable. And that matters. Earlier quantum advantage claims relied on tasks no one could realistically check. Quantum echoes can be rerun, and the answer comes back the same. The practical edge is in modeling nature, molecules, magnets, black holes, systems classical machines struggle to simulate. If this verifiable quantum advantage holds up at scale, this is the moment quantum computing stops being a benchmark exercise and starts being a tool. Cursor has launched the Cursor SDK. It lets developers run agents from CI/CD pipelines, build automations across end-to-end workflows, or embed Cursor agents directly inside their own products. Agents can run locally on a workstation or in a managed cloud sandbox, and they can call Composer, Claude, GPT, or other models underneath. To make adoption easier, Cursor has open-sourced a handful of starter projects on GitHub, a coding agent CLI, a prototyping tool, and an agent-powered Kanban board, all sitting under the Cursor/Cookbook repository. Cursor is on a very interesting path. The $2 billion merger of Meta and Manus has been blocked by China. Manus became one of the most talked about agentic AI platforms of the past year, originally founded in China and later restructured as a Singapore-based company. Meta agreed to buy the firm earlier this year for around $2 billion. Beijing's reasoning leans on its updated investment rules. Regulators flagged concern about Chinese AI technology being absorbed by an American giant. The National Development and Reform Commission statement was brief, but the message is anything but subtle. Beijing now treats AI talent flight as a strategic concern, not just a commercial one. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. If you can go just one more step and support us by liking and sharing this video, we would really appreciate it.